and welcome everyone. I'm Masha Batra, Head of Partnerships at Kilimanjaro Consulting, and we are delighted to have you with us today. We've been hearing for years that spreadsheets would be replaced by dashboards and BI tools, yet Excel remains central to the way finance teams operate. The reality is that finance teams still turn to spreadsheets for management reporting, budgeting, forecasting, and ad hoc decision support because Excel provides unmatched flexibility, familiarity, and speed. And in today's session, we will explore how Vilexel has built on that reality rather than trying to change it. Vilexel's philosophy is simple. Rather than forcing users away from Excel, it brings live, governed Acumatica data directly into the tool finance teams already know and trust. For those who are new to Vilexel, Vilexel is a multi-award-winning reporting, budgeting, and automation platform built specifically for Acumatica. It's been developed by Acumatica experts, and to put it in simple terms, the solution connects live Acumatica data directly to Excel. Over the years, Vilexel has become one of the most widely adopted reporting solutions in the Acumatica community, earning industry recognition, including Acumatica Partner of the Year 2022, Innovation Award 2023, and Acumatica Top-Notch recognition in 2024. Within the Australian and New Zealand market, Vilexel has established a strong partnership with MYOB, providing native reporting and planning capabilities that connect directly to live Acumatica data. The solution has become a preferred reporting platform for many MYOB Acumatica customers and was recently recognized as MYOB Acumatica App of the Year 2026, reflecting its impact on helping businesses improve reporting, accuracy, efficiency, and decision-making. Now, what makes Vilexel unique is that it's not really an industry-specific solution. It's a finance and reporting platform that adapts to the way different businesses operate. Whether you're a manufacturer tracking inventory costs, a construction company managing project profitability, or a services firm forecasting resource utilization, Vilexel enables teams to access live Acumatica data through Excel and build reports that fit their business. Whether you're already using Vilexel or simply curious to understand if it's a right fit for your business, today's webinar has something for you. We are joined today by Tony and Damien from Vilexel, and they will provide a recap of the key capabilities that have made Vilexel a leading reporting solution for Acumatica users, and then takes a look at some of the new exciting features recently added to the platform. A few things to mention before we dive in. Today's session is being recorded and will be sent to the attendees and people who have registered. You will all see a Q&A button within your Zoom interface. Please feel free to ask us anything relevant to the topic throughout the session so others can also see the questions and add to the conversation. We will reserve time at the end of the session to answer these. Also, you'll see a few polls pop up on your screen. We'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences, so please take a moment to share your input when they appear. So, without wasting more time, please join me in welcoming Tony and Damien. Over to you, Tony.
Thank you so much, Marsha, for the lovely introduction. And we're very excited to be able to join you today and bring Vilexel to your desktops. So just a quick reminder for those of you that noticed when you registered at the end of the session, you have to stay till the end to go into the draw. There is an amazing prize on offer. If you're not in Sydney, there will be a similar experience that will be up for you, and the winner will actually be drawn after the webinar today and announced in the email that will be sent out by the Kilimanjaro team. So I'm sure you can all dream about being away from your workstations and somewhere enjoying one of these experiences. Thank you for coming along today. So just a short agenda to make sure that everybody knows what's coming up. Today, myself and Damien will be covering a host of topics, as Marsha mentioned. We will talk about some challenges that hopefully you identify with, and as well as our use cases there. We'll jump into a live product demo and talk about some of the templates that are available to help customers unlock immediate value. And then as I hand over to my colleague, Damien, who is our Chief Product Officer, Damien will be running through some product enhancements, a very exciting insight into our Vilexel Intelligence product. So with a live demo of that, and we'll wrap up with some short benefits and case studies. as Marsha mentioned, Q&A, so we can answer as many of those questions as we have time for today. So let's get started. I would like to do a quick intro. Velexo is a global company. Our head office is in Montreal in Canada. And our founder is very passionate programmer at heart. So every time we meet, we still see Gabrielle churning out code and love to get in the detail. As Marsha mentioned, today we have enjoyed a very big acceptance and global adoption of our product. Over 3,500 customers using Velexo today in this region. We're up to 800. So Australia, New Zealand certainly understands the value proposition here. A few things to note. We are very proud of our G2 rating that we have. Customers rate the product usability and how much value it offers them. So these scores are something that we really like to talk about and show these levels that we achieved. Finally, in terms of happiest customers that we have in the ecosystem, if you can help save valuable time and help with reporting, I think this is always what we like to hear. We are SOC 2, Type 2 compliance. So for anyone who is concerned about, security and your financial data sitting in those sheets, very important to go and have a look at how much, we really do take care with the data and it's secure using your credentials. So some of the challenges that we talk about in our platform and kind of some of the things that we'll be addressing today. The first one is with your pre-built reports that you get inside MYOB Acumatica. We know that they serve a purpose, but sometimes they're just missing that one extra column of info that you need, or you don't have the filter exactly set up for your business. So there is some limited flexibility with some of these pre-built reports. We know that customers find ways to grab this data then from MYOB Acumatica, put it into Excel. We know you love to keep working in Excel, and this is a place where you do your thinking and you love to model data. But once you do that with this manual approach, we talk about copy and waste because this data becomes outdated and it no longer represents this real-time data that's sitting inside your ERP. The third challenge we know that customers experience with data entry is it can take a lot of time to work through the screens to accurately get the data captured, whether it's your month-end journals, your budgets, or any of the data that your teams are keying in. Inventory prices, all of these screens within Acumatica require you to carefully update and make sure you capture the data. So these are the areas that Velexo will strive to support and assist you as we go through today. We say that we like to bring your ERP, which is MYOB Acumatica, and your Excel worlds together. So transforming Excel into a real-time dynamic place to work and using that single source of truth of data. A final couple of points I'll talk here is really just to make sure you're aware Velexo is an Excel add-in. So it's easy to add Velexo into your existing Excel instance. Zero IT dependent. You don't need to engage the IT team to go and build out custom reports every time. It's going to be simple to add the product into your Excel instance. We don't have a data warehouse, so Velexo offers real-time exploring of your data using your MYOB Acumatica credentials to create a secure connection to your data. This is a very important way in how we integrate because this means that your users will only get access to the data that they are authorized to access. So that user permission will be inherited when they're inside the Excel product. So nice and simple, you don't have to wait for a sync process to refresh any data. It's real time when you open it. And bi-directional. So the fourth point on the slide really talks about the ability not just to pull data, but push data as well. So we'll actually talk a few examples and show you what this looks like. But this is so useful for that efficiency gain. You're working in Excel, you've got some updated numbers, you don't have to go back into MYOB and manually enter that. So we just want to make sure that customers are also aware that we support so many different use cases. As we go through today's session, a number of those use cases will come up and we'll talk about these. As Marsha mentioned, whether you're in manufacturing, in distribution, or managing projects, Velexo really will unlock the ability to bring any data from MYOB Acumatica and let you report on that, as well as update any data back in MYOB Acumatica. So let's jump into our product and show you a few amazing things. I think the poll question just popped up, and that'll come after the demo. So let's jump in and show you our Velexo session here. So what I've opened up is Excel. You can see Velexo NX has been added in. It's simple when you actually first start out to find us in the Microsoft Store under the add-in section and simply go and add Velexo into your Excel instance. You will use the connection manager to go and securely create your connection back to your MYOB data, and we do support single sign-on. So once you actually create this connection, you can give it any name. You just follow through those options there by putting in your URL, your username and passwords. Now, you are able to create multiple connections if you are running multi-tenants and instances where different entity data exists. So this is one way we support consolidation, where you, in your connection manager, can create the multiple connections to all of the data that you want to pull through. So a couple of things to note. I've just opened up a standard profit and loss. This is one of many of the pre-built reports that we have. And if you were analyzing it and using it, your user would simply be able to use one of the filters you have, whether that's analyzing your numbers by branch, by cost center, department, any of the standard categories that you've set up for your configuration will work. When I've done that, you can see that little green arrow is indicating that real-time data is being refreshed. This is the experience that our users have. Inside your reports, you will find Velexo functions. So these are the unique pre-programmed formulas that Velexo adds into Excel, which has a number of parameters in them, and it's simply a case of popping in those parameters. In this case, I'm referencing a few different cells, and this is how the data is fetched from MYOB Acumatica. So whether you need actuals from your actual ledger or budget from one of your budget ledgers, you will just reference the particular ledger that you want to extract the data from. Okay. Now, again, today's session, we want to be quite broad and not just focus on financials. So I'll cover a number of sheets as we do a short demo. But very important to note that when you start configuring your selections of your reports, you have a lot of flexibility, whether you're using account classes or account ranges. We have some very smart syntax that you can use to exclude certain accounts within a range. So really going to be able to customize your reports to the level that you need. The first thing I want to demonstrate on the screen is our drill down. So on the Velexo menu, you'll find the drill down option is available. Now, what drill down means is when I'm looking at my numbers, something might not look right. So, part of your month end, you want to double check what exactly has been posted in that line that you're looking at. So it could be a number of GL accounts or sub accounts that you've clicked on, and here you will be able to see the underlying detail. Now, not only do we offer this first level of drill down, but you'll see the hyperlink to the transactions can also unlock the drill down all the way through to the source. So this way that you're working inside a single system where the numbers are all the same is very important to our users. You are not looking at a set of data that was taken in a point in time. You're able to move between Excel and MYOB Acumatica as if you're in one system. Okay, so that drill down is available at any of those levels. Now, again, today, think about those layouts that you might require, data side by side in columns like we have here, rolling 12-month views. All of these are just different ways to display the data that you're looking at. Okay. Moving into things like cash flow, very important. These are standard reports that can be downloaded and then further modified for your unique business requirements. So rather than take you through more financial reports, I wanted to jump through a couple of other pre-built reports that we have. One being the very important GL transaction listing. Rather than using the standard MYOB report for this, turning it into a real-time lookup. So, you know, at the moment, if you're running it in MYOB, it'll print on 30 or 40 pages, really hard to find the section you're looking for. So open up the pre-built Valexo GL transaction report we have and simply plug in the GL account you're looking for, the period you want to access, and you can go and look at all of those detailed transactions. So much simpler to do that within your Excel environment. In the same way, we have some pre-built reports that will help you access debtors and creditors information. Valexo works really well together with generic inquiries, and some of these pre-built reports will actually use GIs and generic inquiries to extract the underlying data that you need. But by having a Valexo filter then on top of that data means that you're using your live drop downs to be able to slice and dice the data that you need to extract. So a lot of our customers find this useful. If you do need to look at your debtors, aging brackets, those 30, 60, 90 days, you're able to customize that to your needs, and then you'll see a summary tab that will help you analyze where you're up to and what kind of needs your attention. So just different ways to help those different teams in your business getting access to the data that they need. Another example for inventory, anybody that's running a lot of stock items and needs to calculate days of supply. We have some great inventory pre-built reports here, and again using some generic inquiries to extract the data and offer you ways to view stock on hand, quantities, average sales daily cost, and then ultimately calculating a days of supply. Now, any of these pre-built reports can be edited. If your business does things slightly different, this is still an easy way to start and then add those modifications that you might need. Okay, so jumping back to our actual instance, I wanted to cover off two more topics here. The one is write back, and then we're going to jump into a new query feature. So let's talk a little bit about write back. Write back really is the feature that sets us apart from other reporting tools. And it's that opportunity that you have to send data back into your MYOB system. So our example for today is a accrual journal. So you think about those standard month-end journals you have. Some of our customers build Valexo sheets for all of their standard journals, and they can just simply open them up, refresh them for the month, make sure they're happy with the final transaction dates, maybe the description is updated. This example is using a Valexo function to extract actuals for the month and then calculating using some inputs what this accrual journal needs to be. Now, this is one version of an example. You can have many different layouts where your journal might just be simply a column side by side, and you've listed all of your breakdown and your GL accounts down in rows. You can either highlight the rows that you want to send into MYOB Acumatica as a journal, or you can use our function perform write back on the whole sheet if the whole sheet in my example is representing a single journal. So I'll just click on that now to show you write back is in progress. It's creating a new batch for us, and there is a feature that I've said open up the batch when you've done creating it. So in live in front of you, you'll see this journal is being created for us. Now, you have that option not to actually release it. You can first get it to create the journal. You can review that inside MYOB and then go and release it as a separate step. Follow whatever process you might need to have in your business. So I know our customers really find as part of month end, this will save a lot of time and will eliminate possible data entry errors as you're trying to transpose and copy and paste data across from where you're doing your calculations. Okay. So another way to access one of our write back functions is, you'll see in our insert list here, we have budget as the second one. So you think about those scenarios where you want to send your budget information from Excel back into MYOB and then use it from that ledger that you've updated to analyze your actuals. Okay, so this example sheet has been prepared using Velexo to extract prior year actuals, potentially adding an increase or decrease, and then distributing that amount across a number of periods. Now, we know customers have a lot of different models in how you will want to do your budgeting. And important to note is you don't have to start from scratch. You can take those Excel sheets that you already have built and just simply add in the Velexo write back formulas. And so this will mean you can turn your sheets into a write back budget sheet. So if you don't want to start from scratch and take a template like this, just simply look at these write back formulas and you'll be able to then send the data from that sheet back into MYOB seamlessly. So it gives the user feedback around which lines are updated, and it really does support more often forecasting processes. So it's easy then to create a new ledger if you wanted to do a quarterly forecast, simply for a few lines that you just send that data back and quickly update a forecast number. Move back to your main sheet where you're analyzing actuals against that forecast, and instantly you can keep a close eye on where you're up. So I think it's very important to note Velexo supports that whole budgeting process for customers, whether you do budgets at the branch level and your branch managers can consolidate those back. Okay, now the feature I did want to show you is our amazing query function that we've added in to the latest version. Now, let me just get over to our tabs and just move back. I added one brand new sheet in over here. Will do fine. Okay, so in our insert menu, you'll see there is a query function. Now, as we spoke about some of those accounts payable, receivable reports, inventory, I mentioned you've got generic inquiries sitting behind them. What's important to note with this function, this insert query new function we have, you do not need generic inquiries to be set up. You can simply choose the object that you want to query. In this case, I'm choosing inventory. You can find the inventory object and you'll be able to then select the fields from that object that you want to report on. So as I go down the list, I'll just choose a few fields that I want to include in a quick session today to show you what the experience is like. You might need some support from Kilimanjaro, your partner, if you don't know exactly which fields and which objects your data sits inside that you're looking for. But as you can see, you can figure out some of these by just looking at their descriptions and the detail you have. Now, what's important to note in this list, you'll also see related objects. So it's not just the one object, but any of those related objects you can go and pull information from. Okay, so a nice user interface as you're building out that query. Whoops, I closed it before I'd finished what I wanted there. There we go. So there's filters you can set. I'm just pulling through a few basic fields to show you this in action. We'll give it a couple of seconds and it will have our inventory items, a couple of descriptions, and just those few fields that I highlighted. Okay, so this is super powerful. If there's data you've been dying to get your hands on, the acu.query function can be used. And also important to note, any of the user-defined fields, those attributes that the Kilimanjaro team may have set up for you, are also available for you to include in this way. So some great options there. Finally, I just want to mention our distribution features. So any quick look and talk about demo, I would go amiss if I did not mention this. Our customers love this feature. So many use cases come out of it all the time. how do you share data with somebody else in the business? Your board member wants to see a weekly snapshot of your P&L numbers, or your customers would love to see, a statement, an invoice copy. I know that's come up a bit, or even just project managers. You're wanting to share a couple of your tabs of reports that you've built for them. So in your distribution list, you can create lines for every one of those scenarios that you want to be able to distribute. And the key thing here to note is that you have the option to remove those Velexo formulas. So this is very powerful because you might be sharing your report with somebody who will not have an MYOB Acumatica login, who will not need to refresh the report like we showed you at the start. So this user can just get the final outcome of that report, whether it's Excel format or PDF, and they'll be able to then analyze it. So in my example, I'm just distributing one particular scenario, which is a P&L. It can be filtered. I've told it I only want 2 of my branches. And rather than actually email it out, I just told it to create the draft email for me. So I didn't actually tell it to send it, but rather create the draft so I can quickly show you guys how you have all of that work done nice and simple. Then if I were to open this report, you'll see now I have a Velexo report, except I don't have any more of those Velexo formulas and functions. It's a snapshot of the data at that point in time. And I chose only head office and Melbourne branches, so I only have those 2 tabs in my workbook. Okay, so yep, I'm sure that today's customers on the call, you're already thinking about some of those ideas that this will just help eliminate all those manual steps you might be doing to get this data out to the people who need to make decisions on it. Thanks, everyone. So at this stage, I would like to hand over to my colleague, Damien Zellweger, who's going to take us through the next part. Thanks, Damien.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you so much for that great demo. I'm going to share my screen now and say good morning or good day to everyone. The first thing that I wanted to go through today, for our existing customers on the call, is to go through some of our recent enhancements in Velexo NX. First of all, Velexo NX, which is the application that Tony showed you just before, is the modern add-in. We released that about 4 years ago now. And before that, we had a tool named Velexo Classic, which we are slowly seeing all of our customers actually forgetting in favor of Velexo NX, because Velexo NX has about 4 years of enhancements over Velexo Classic. So if you're still on Velexo Classic, all of what I'm about to go through is actually only on Velexo NX, and you should consider moving to Velexo NX. Talk to Kilimanjaro about this. So the first theme about our recent enhancements is, the continuation of our deeper integration with MYOB Acumatica. So Tony went through the query builder, that nice side panel UI where you can very easily select objects, columns, add filters from a UI. Behind the scene, this is based on new functions. The query function, the query filter functions, and a range of other functions that come with it in support of query. It does need GI, so it's really, really powerful, further enabling users, from a self-service perspective. We released a new function named Get Attachments. Tony demonstrated the distribution feature. So if you have Get Attachment in any of the sheet that is distributed from the distribution feature, it will extract every attachment from those objects and those rows that are returned and append those files, maybe images, or they may be PDFs. They will be appended to the report that you are distributing. Then we have the new functions in Write Back Journal. So previously we didn't have a function for this. Now it's a lot more flexible with a dedicated function for writing back journal entries. We made enhancements to the Write Back Project Forecast function. So if you are operating in the the project module or in construction industry, then that would be very much of interest for you. And all of our write-back functions also now support spilling, and they're all dynamic, which they weren't before. In terms of industry-specific enhancements, we released a few months ago a brand new solution for construction. For our construction customers or for users on the call operating in that industry, it comes with about 20 pre-built templates, and which cover the cost to complete, your WIP, all of your analysis of cost, of timesheets, and those things. We also released sales commission templates, which are bidirectional, not just extracting sales commission data, but allowing you to calculate sales commission and push that back to Acumatica. So they're really, really quite useful. One thing that we didn't cover earlier is where to get all of those pre-built templates. This is simple. From the help menu within the Velixo NX ribbon, there's a download report templates item there that you can click, and then it'll take you to the Velixo templates gallery, where you can search and filter on the specific templates. Usability and productivity is always very key and core to Velixo. Over the last 12 months, we released a couple of productivity features, which we haven't had the time to demonstrate today, such as slice to generate copy of a sheet filtered by certain data. It might be generated in a separate workbook or as new sheets of the existing workbook. Snapshots to create a copy. It's similar to distribution. Freeze, if you needed to do your budgeting or forecasting on data that you don't want to automatically update on you can freeze the data. So those are tools in, to improve the user experience and your productivity, and also working with colleagues. Multi-tenant consolidation is a big one, which we haven't demonstrated today, that we released earlier this year. If you have multiple tenants of MYOB Acumatica, you can combine them automatically, and Velixo will automatically consolidate and aggregate the data. It will understand whether the data is actually text fields, in which case it can merge that across tenants, or if it's an amount, it will simply sum the amount values. And then lastly, we are now able to save your connection details. You enter that once, you save that, and you can easily reuse that across workbooks. And Velixo NX, which is something that Velixo Classic supported, now also supports VBA. So if that was the last remaining item before you wanted to move to Velixo NX, now consider that this is in NX, and it would simplify your migration to NX. My next slide is obviously what I will spend the most time today in terms of the demonstration. And this webinar is the perfect time for me, actually, because we're about to roll out this new capability in the product next week to all of our customers, and new subscribers will also get it. Velixo Intelligence is the new embedded AI that will be available within Velixo. It will be one experience, one assistant that will enable a couple of different agents, AI agents, for various purposes. Importantly, it is included in all of our customer subscriptions. So everyone will be able to use this feature. And on the right-hand side, I've got the few agents that Velixo Intelligence supports. And this is what I will spend my time on right now to show you. So I'm going to jump to the same file that Tony demonstrated. And to start this demonstration, I am noticing that in my profit and loss, I've got those errors there. And I don't want to spend too much time trying to understand how to fix that and fix that in many cells. I am clicking the Velixo Intelligence icon in the ribbon, and instead selecting the column and asking Velixo Intelligence, please fix those errors for me. Velixo Intelligence is grounded in Velixo, Excel, and MYOB arithmetical knowledge. So it can call any actions from Excel, any operations that Excel can do can be called by Velixo Intelligence. And so can he call any Velixo ribbon actions or Velixo functions and features. So I will get to this later in this demo. So we'll give it. So right now it's analyzing the context of the spreadsheet and it's fixing everything for me magically. Let's just finish it. So that was the guide agent. So the guide agent is able to find issues, find inconsistencies in your template and fix things for you. It may also be able to, if you ask it, add new charts, freeze panes, all of those things that you may want to do in a report. The next thing I wanted to show you is that, yes, you can interact from the side panel of Velixo Intelligence, but what you can also do is select an area and right-click and interact with Velixo Intelligence also from the right-click menu there. So we've got this troubleshoot. If you've got errors, you can select this, and we've got the summarize option as well that will analyze the data and give you kind of the full kind of business analyst summary of the data, and will even make recommendations on business recommendations. So key findings, giving you a couple of KPIs, things that is finding about the data. It will next go to inconsistencies and red flags, issues with the data. And very interestingly, I can see, I will go back to this in a minute when it finishes. I can see that there are issues in my data. It looks like I've got a defect. I've got a 2% here. That is an issue. This is part of my demo, don't worry. So 2% is actually a hard-coded value instead of being calculated. So I can simply ask it, fix the 2% hard-coded value. So he was able to find out about the inconsistency in the report. And now from the analysis agent, I'm now coding the guide agent to fix that specific value. And it's just updated the value right now, exactly as it should be. Next, I want to show you that the analysis or analyst agent, which is what I use to create an analysis of the data that I selected, can also be called from a function. And it is extremely useful if you want to create kind of narratives or notes. They may be inline or they may be here on the side alongside reports. So I am just going to copy exactly my prompt to make it easier. What did I do? Okay, I'm just going to type it. Analyze the data and provide a summary, format it with bullet points with no numbers. And then what I can do is provide it with context. So we're just going to select this area here. And it will take a couple of seconds and it will generate my beautiful narrative, which will be dynamic, fully dynamic. So when I change a filter, for example, I change the branch, this data will be dynamically regenerated, reanalyzed, and regenerated automatically on the side of my report. You got P&L for consolidated revenue, beat budget materially, and cost of goods sold was far below plan, lifting gross profits. So it gives you a bit of a summary and dynamically. Next, I want to show you that Veloso Intelligence can be used not only for data analysis, but also to help you as a user generate new content. So we will use Veloso Intelligence here, and we will want it to create a brand new query. So create a query in cell A5 of that sheet that returns AR payments from 2025 onwards. Returns only the main columns and sort by document date is what I'm asking it. So it will use the query builder agent, and it will make use of the IQ, the query function, and the query builder that we showed you today. Let's give it a few seconds. It's find the object that it should use, AR.AR payments, and then it's asking me, Damien, are you happy with those fields? I'm very happy with this. Perfect. And the next thing it will do is insert that query directly in that new sheet. So when it's done, you can see how powerful this is. You don't need to know the underlying schema of MYOB accumulated. You can simply ask Veloso Intelligence to understand this. You don't need to know about all the detailed options and settings of all of the Veloso functions. Veloso Intelligence can generate this for you. Now, the other thing I want to show you is that we're not limited to query building with Veloso Intelligence. We can also generate brand new reports. So I'm just moving to a new workbook, and what I will ask is very simple, with not much instructions at all, prompt that is, build me a detailed profit and loss report with dynamic filters. It couldn't be simpler than that. And what it will do, it will search online for Veloso templates. That's the first thing it will do. If he finds one, it will recommend one. You should be using this. Okay, I'm happy with this. Import that template directly here. I will have a look. But I could also have asked it to build it from scratch. And this is what I'm going to do next. So it's just imported one of our pre-built templates that you still need to configure. The branch is not the same. So just a couple of things to configure. I will now delete all of those sheets that it manually imported. And instead, I will ask it to build this from scratch, just to show you the power of Veloso Intelligence when it comes to report design, report generation. So it is aware of all of the Veloso functions, of the context of my question, what a P&L should look like, etc. And is calling various actions, including consulting product documentation, and coding specific office functionality and reasoning over my request. So, for example, I'll give you a sneak peek, evaluating, report designing. It's giving you all of its reasoning. And what I want to do is not wait the couple of minutes until it finishes, but instead, because it can take, for that specific scenario, I expect it could take about 2 to 3 minutes. So maybe we'll come back to this after I show you the final outcome. This is the final outcome, where it went through all of those steps, reasoning steps, and eventually created profit and loss with live function. As you can see, with filters that I can change as a user, with some level of configurations, and live turnover functions that are configured automatically. This is just an example. On a profit and loss, it may be done on an inventory stock on hand report, on any kind of operational report. He will try to understand that. If he gets it wrong, or if it needs refinement, you can continue asking, and otherwise customize from there. And this pretty much ends my demo of Velexo Intelligence. And Tony, please, over to you.
Thank you so much, Damien. Wow, I am so excited about what we can do with Velexo Intelligence. Thanks for all those examples. I'm sure that the customers are also thinking of just back at their desks, all the things they would love to ask Velexo Intelligence to do. Okay, so we just wanted to talk a little bit about some of those benefits. Hopefully you would have seen how Velexo will support to make decisions faster. Increase in reporting speed is very important. We don't want you to spend time wasting looking at numbers, formatting reports. We want you to get to the data and then spend all your time making those decisions that will help move your business forward. The market out there is pretty tight, and the quicker you can make those important decisions, when to buy products, when to complete projects, how to action those things that in your business are the difference between 2 or 3 extra profitability percentages. You want to go after that. So Velexo will help on reducing the labor costs. So that month-end process, free up your finance team to move on to the new month much quicker and get all the reporting and manual work also out of the way. The final ROI, or return on investment, that we talk about is in this data entry place. So what are the things that your teams are spending a lot of time on manually trying to keep updated inside MYOB Acumatica screens? Is there a better way? If your suppliers are sending you new price books, can you simply use Velexo to write those all back into MYOB and update your price lists? Is there simple ways to make sure your customer master records are accurate and up to date? Lots of different ways there to again save manual work. So going into a first customer story, we wanted to highlight, given that we have so many customers globally and even here in Australia and New Zealand from your industries, please check out the Velexo website. We have documented a number of those case studies as well. But when we spoke to the Signature Hospitality Group, this is a great one to call out. They were manually trying to report on all of the branches as their company was growing. Every time they added a new branch, they had to manually go and build the report decks for that branch. And so rather than doing that, they implemented Velexo, and today are able to, simply for one new branch, 15 seconds is what they've documented. So they actually stopped the clock, started the clock, showed their team how quickly it was to add in another branch. They also, added Velexo to many of their workflows and do a lot of the data and automation around their finance teams. What's important to note here is that if you're using MYOB Acumatica Payroll, Velexo can also consume that payroll data. So really giving you that full, use case of all of your financials, including your payroll data and reports that you need. So at this point, I just wanted to also mention, if you are an existing client on the call today and you think about examples where you might need some support to build out some of these write-back scenarios and use cases, we talk about custom Velexo services there. We know that the Kilimanjaro team has a lot of in-house Velexo experts that are standing by ready to help you through that process. So please talk to your account manager at Kilimanjaro. They can discuss your requirements. Kilimanjaro has a partnership with Alchemex. So we know that Chris Miller might be on the call today. So a shout out to the Alchemex team. Chris has been working with Kilimanjaro for many years on providing niche Velexo services to specific cases where Velexo has really saved a lot of time and effort there around write-backs and building out amazing report decks. So your account manager at Kilimanjaro will be able to help map the next steps and manage that engagement with Alchemex if that's of interest. Over to you, Marsha. Thank you so much for having us here today. And I know there's a few more slides on your side. Thank you.
No, thanks, Tony and Damien. That was I know we did a quick run through the existing functionality and what's coming through, which is very exciting to see with all of the advanced intelligence stuff in the product. For those of us in the webinar who are already using Velexo, which from our first poll is about 47% of us on the call, if you're interested in or in need of some training on the product, we do have exclusive training sessions available across Australia and New Zealand in September. The dates are up on the screen. You should have received invites for this already, but if not, talk to your account managers and they can guide you on that. Should we quickly move on to the questions, Tony?
Yes.
And we've got a few of them over here. Okay, the first one is there any additional charges for Velexo Intelligence?
So no, there will not be any additional charges. We are happy to say that Velexo Intelligence is on offer for all our existing clients at no extra cost.
Lovely.
Starting from next week.
Sorry, what did you say?
Just in case people didn't get it, it will start rolling out to every customer next week.
Lovely, lovely. Can Velexo Intelligence reference non-MYOB data, example, volume information extract from CMS to inform commentary?
We'll take this one. It will not. The reason is that we've grounded Velexo Intelligence knowledge in Excel and MYOB and Velexo. And doing it this way ensures that there's absolutely limited hallucination. And when using AI, it's very, very important. So it will be contained within MYOB action, that data.
Makes sense. Thanks for that.
Sorry, my apologies, but it can analyze any data that's already in Excel.
So that I was going to just add that inventory volume data can be sitting on a sheet inside the workbook. And so you can ask the Velexo Intelligence Analyze agent to review that. But you could also use your Velexo functions to then have your actuals from MYOB on the same sheet as then you pull in those volume-based data onto an Excel report.
Understood. If we have Velexo at the moment, how do we upgrade to Velexo NX?
So we have a fully documented web page. So let's make sure we grab the customer's details and we can share that back with them. There is a page that describes the key differences and what is the process of just looking at your existing reports, which ones need to be migrated, and then simply uninstalling Classic and installing NX. So let's take that action with that user.
Great. Are the AI features live in Velexo NX now?
They're not, or only to a couple of customers that have participated in the early adopter program, but they will be launched next Tuesday, and be rolled out to all of our customers over that week.
Perfect. Is Velexo NX fully compatible with VBA?
Yes, it is now.
Lovely. That was quick. Is there a list of available Velexo formulas and its usage?
Yes. So all our formulas or functions have been documented on our website. So you can access those simply by inside your Excel sheet. When you type in turnover function and click on the hyperlink, that will take you straight to that page on our website. And they're all listed there under financial functions, under list functions, project functions. You can find them all categorized.
Lovely. We are still using Velexo Classic as VBA works well with it. We had some issues with Velexo NX, especially refreshing connections via VBA. What is the status there?
I'm not exactly sure of the specific use case, but that is something we can take offside and I can have a look at myself.
Lovely. There are a bunch of questions around pre-built reports. Where can we download pre-built reports, and there's specific ones on certain scenarios? How would you like to take that, Tony and Damien?
What I suggest, Marsha, in your email that you will send out after the webinar as a summary, we will provide you the link that you can include, and that will be the shortcut to get to that register of all of the pre-built reports we have. So there is a page where you can pop in a search if it's an inventory report you want, or a sales commission one, or even look at those, those financial ones we have in there. So we'll include the link in that email that you guys can send out, and that will be the quickest way for customers to go to the register and fully see the list.
Lovely. And then if there are any additional specific requirements you have, just reach out to your account managers and we can help you out with that. There is a question on write-back journals. It says, for write-back journals, you appear to have changed the format as in GL insurance accrual write-back. How is that done safely?
So if that specifically relates to the example I was showing today, that is just one of the formats that can be used. You can still follow the standard format where all of your data is in rows underneath each other. And the write-back journal will follow the same rules that apply for any standard journal. What are the key fields that are a minimum you need? And if your data is complies with those, it will let you create that journal under that scenario. As soon as there is a missing GL account or a cost center that's not valid, the formula will still provide that feedback to the user.
Lovely. Can sub-accounts be used as report distribution criteria?
Yes, they could.
Yes. So
Easy.
the filters can be endless.
Perfect. I think that's it for questions. The ones that we haven't answered, we'll get back to you on an individual basis. And where there is a set of common questions, we'll make sure we include those in our post-event comms that come out to you. Should we just go on to the last slide, Tony?
Yes, I just noticed the final poll has come up as well. I'll just minimize that for you. Cool.
All right. As Tony mentioned, if there are any further questions, you want us to arrange introductions or for a demo, reach out to your Kilimanjaro account manager, and we will help you out with your requirements. The email address is up on the screen. We look forward to continuing these conversations. Thank you very much, Tony and Damien, for your time today, and have a good rest of your day, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.